Welcome to this week's Midweek, Midday Motivational Minute. Hold up, let me make sure. Can you hear me now? Is the microphone on? Mic check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and make yourself feel at home. Great to see you, Mike. Thank you for joining on IG. It's your boy, Larry Long Jr., back for this week's Midweek, Midday Motivational Minute. I can't believe that we're at episode number 14 for the year. 2024 is flying by. This is episode number 206 overall in our entirety. So happy to be here. Now, I got to give a shout out. Last week, we were sponsored by Royal Caribbean. I got to take a family cruise. We went on a Caribbean cruise on the new big ship, Icon of the Seas. It was iconic, I tell you. I was working on my tan, but I am happy to be back with you. I got to give a shout out to this week's sponsor. It's my peeps, Salesforce. Woo! Nothing but love. Some of y'all saw it. I was honored and recognized by Salesforce for the 4th straight year as a top sales influencer. Little Larry Long Jr. When I had hair, little nappy-headed Larry Long Jr. How did it happen? I pinched myself each and every day, but I got to give nothing but love to Salesforce for the great recognition. I got to give a shout out to the other 26 top sales influencers from around the globe. Niraj in Ireland. We got a couple folks in the land of Oz down in Australia. A bunch of folks in the States just taking care of business, serving the sales community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So today, I wanted to talk about sincere service. That's the topic. And essentially, it's top of mind because we just went 7 days on a cruise where essentially the employees are catering to our every need. But there was one in particular, and I hope that you're tuning in, Shubham. Good old Shubham was our waiter at the formal dining. We did the formal dining, I think 5 out of the 7 nights, and it really stood out to me. I'm observing, I'm looking around, I'm always people watching. The first thing I noticed was just his attention to detail. My daughter got an apple juice on night 1. She said, I like blue cheese on everything. So he brought a side of blue cheese. My wife ordered a glass of wine. I think it was number 168, 167 on the list. And the next evening, we came to dining. My daughter didn't have to ask for apple juice. He just came and said, here you go, little Lucia. He had the blue cheese for my wife. He said, I got you the usual. It was after 1 day, but it was just him being observant, picking up on it. I'm also watching him, and you talk about service with a smile. I mean, people can be smiling, but not really mean it. With my man Shubham, he meant it when he smiled, and I caught him. He had us and I think 3 other tables. I caught him smiling as he was going to get someone's plate of dessert. And I said, Shubham, come here, man. What gives you joy? Why are you so happy as you serve these tables? And he said, well, Larry, I consider my tables family. He said, my wife is back home in India. We got a baby on the way, expecting a baby. Congratulations. I think he said in August, and his contract ends in July, just in the nick of time to get back with his family. So he said, hey, I could dwell on not being there with my wife, not being around family in India, but I choose to have the perspective of being happy to serve my family here on this boat, here on this cruise ship. Week in and week out, he's got new families that come in, new people that are sailing, and his perspective in terms of providing service was spectacular. It was unbelievable. For me, and I took some notes here, it was not only memorable, but he was detail-oriented. He was genuine. It was straight from the heart. You can tell when folks are faking it versus when they really believe it. He meant it, that genuine, that kindness, that thoughtfulness, that focus on providing an experience and providing service with a smile made our trip amazing. Now, everything else was nice. The water parks, St. Kitts, Nevis, St. Thomas, Bahamas, working on my tan. It was all good. But I can tell you that my man Shubham single-handedly, actually not even single-handedly, he had an assistant, Denzel. I said, oh, not to be confused with Denzel Washington, close enough. Then Denzel got sick. So we had my man Ryan in the house. They made our experience great. So my question for you is, what are you doing on a daily basis to provide sincere and spectacular service with every interaction, whether it's with prospects, whether it's with clients, whether it's with colleagues, whether it's in person or even virtual? How are you, yes, you and you, how are you making sure that you're providing a signature experience? Yeah, truly signature, not just the baseline and definitely not down there, but how do you provide that superb 5-star white glove treatment to make sure that people know that you care about them? It's the little things that mean so much. It's remembering someone's significant other's name. It's remembering someone's birthday. Speaking of birthdays, Jane Jenkins Herlong, I'm giving you a shout out today. Go shorty, it's your birthday. We're going to party like it's your birthday. I sent Jane a little video message. Hopefully she enjoys it. I tried to sing, but my singing, it ain't unusual to be. Yeah, don't get me singing. I'll have you crying instead of laughing. But what are you doing to make sure that you're providing that sincere service, that spectacular service day in and day out? That is the question. I want to open it up. I see we got a question on IG. To my folks on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, thank you so much for joining on this wonderful Wednesday, April the 3rd. Time flies. What questions do you have for me? What comments do you want to share? For those that are looking at the replay on review, go ahead and type in the comments. I promise you, I'll write back. Let's see, what do we got? In the words of one of my influences, Nito Kubain, authenticity beats charisma any day. Wow, Nito, right down the road in High Point, one of my speaker colleagues, just amazing what he's done in his career, the impact that he's had on lives. Authenticity beats charisma any day. I love that. You can be charismatic, but if you're not authentic, and people can feel that authenticity, if it's not coming straight from your heart, survey says, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate that. BT Burns. Like you said, Larry, that authenticity is real and can be sensed versus inauthentic. People are smart, whether you want to believe it or not. They can smell BS from a mile away, and they can tell when you're faking it and when you really mean it. And my experience with Shubham was that he really meant it. He really cared for us like we were his family, and it took our experience from good to great, from great to spectacular, from spectacular to ridiculously unbelievable and memorable, where I'm now sharing it with you. I'm sharing it with everyone that I talk to because it was that good. What are you doing to make sure that people are talking about you in a good way because of that service? Thank you so much. Agreed. They can feel that heart. They definitely can. And we have opportunities. Hello, who is it? Opportunity is knocking at each and every one of our doors each and every day that we're on this earth. What you going to do with that opportunity? I spoke to someone earlier. I see you, Steve Spiro. I appreciate you taking the time to chat. And he put out a post today on LinkedIn that had a quote that I love by Martin Luther King Jr. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing to help others? Steve took the time as the master connector to connect with me, to actually give me a referral. I saw the email. Thank you for that connection, Steve. What are you doing to help others each and every day, to provide that signature, that sincere, that special service, to warm someone else's heart, to make them feel good? Guess what, y'all? Time is precious. Why not today? Don't wait until tomorrow. Why not today? Reach out to that person that you've been noodling about reaching out to and let them know what's sincerely on your heart. Reach out right now. Don't wait another second. Thank you for tuning in live or virtual or remote or on the recording. I send you nothing but love. I wish you all the best. on this wonderful Wednesday. I wish you a wonderful week. I see you, Mr. Kitchen. What you got cooking, Mr. Kitchen? Thank you so much for tuning in. But I wish you just a wonderful week. Wish you well. Make sure you go out there intentionally providing that sincere, that spectacular, that significant service with every interaction that you have. You might just make someone else's day when they need it, and I guarantee you it'll fill your heart as well. I'll holler at you next Wednesday. I'll be dialing in from New York. I'm heading to Salesforce World Tour. Oh, no, not New York. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to be in D.C. I'm going to be in the DMV. And then from there, I go to Bogota, Colombia. I'll be in New York in a couple weeks. Woo! My brain, it must have gotten fried from that Caribbean sun. But I cannot wait to see y'all next week. Peace. Thank you, Coach E. I see you. Happy birthday to you, Coach E. I love it. It's the small things that count. So true. Thank you so much, Coach Eric. We'll talk soon. Hey.